Hey, EC here, and Lego games. This is like the best way to like give, yourself or even your kids some family-friendly entertainment, starring everyone's favorite toy line, the toy line that, includes games such as Lego Battles, which, if it didn't have a Lego name on it, you would think these guys have joined us. So let's talk about this. So, obviously, Lego has become, obviously, a huge phenomenon. Back in, like, 2000s and 90s, they were going bankrupt. They were struggling quite heavily, and now suddenly they're the most profitable toy company in the world, which is honestly insane. That comeback is genuinely insane. But I want to go over why I think it's still low. Is like, personally, to me, I feel like it's the most useless Lego game. I say useless, I mean more so the most unnecessary. So I think you've got a huge pile there. You got games like Lego creator Harry Potter, Chamber of Secrets, which obviously this game was a PC game from the 2000s, based on the first Harry Potter movie. I mean, it's literally just a building game. It's a building game. It's what it is. I don't even know why I bought it. Actually, no, I don't know why I bought it. I bought it for my collection. That was literally the only reason. I've never actually played that game. Also, you got games like Lego Batman 3, which, why is this called Lego Batman 3? It's more like Lego Justice League, let's be real. But then you've got Lego Star Wars games. Lego Star Wars is obviously where, like, a lot of, the Lego formula sort of started coming together. With the original Lego Star Wars game, which I only have on the Game Boy Advance here. I don't have the, console versions. This is Lego Star Wars. This is the original. This is the prequel movies. So episodes 1, 2, and 3. That's the Game Boy Advance version. It's not like the actual full game, but it's like Lego Star Wars, and Lego Star Wars really took off with games like the Complete Saga, which had the first 6 movies, which at the time was the full saga. These films available to play in Lego form. Now, they obviously have since released more Lego Star Wars games, including Lego Star Wars 3, which I don't own, which goes over the Clone Wars TV show. But then you also have, Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, which is obviously this version. It's on the PS5, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. This one adapts all 9 films, well, at least 9 mainline films. Obviously, if you're a Star Wars fan, there's more than 9 films. But, this is obviously arguably the definitive way of playing them. But if you're not a fan of those newer films, Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga is the way to go. Which makes this game, Lego Star Wars Force Awakens, just feel kind of unnecessary. Because the thing is, like, this game was kind of pushed out to like tie into the movie that would like sort of revive Star Wars, which I understand, because obviously Star Wars has been absent from cinemas for like 10 years when Force Awakens came out in 2015. However, this game didn't come out until like 2016, like mid 2016, which you're kind of missing the mark there. It's not bad, but this game feels unnecessary because the thing is, you have like the Skywalker Saga, which adapts all 9 films, and you had the Complete Saga. Then you had the Complete Saga, which adapted the first 6 films. And then, so this one which only adapts 1 movie. It does kind of stretch the content from the movie, and if I remember correctly, they do start this game out with you doing like the Battle of Endor from episode 6, which is like 30 years earlier in the timeline. So obviously this is kind of an odd game in general, but it's not entirely bad. It does obviously include new features like multi-builds, which the building sections of some Lego games can be quite tedious as it is. So having these multi-builds, which obviously you have to keep tearing apart and rebuilding, it doesn't really sell it to me. But overall, Lego games as a whole, not a terrible concept, but just this game, to me, just feels a little bit like they could have just waited to do the whole, like, trilogy. Or if they weren't going to just wait to do the trilogy, they were just going to do a full-on, like, Skywalker Saga, then they could have just waited to do that. Because, I don't hate this game. I just think it's a little bit unnecessary to have a Lego Star Wars game that adapts 1 movie. Because, obviously, why would you only want to adapt 1 movie? Like, like the Lego movie, the video game, is a good example of this. Because they just adapted the movie, and it's arguably one of the weaker Lego games, and a lot of Lego games don't even adapt, like, singular movies. They just adapt, like, their own stories, or, like, the Lego Marvel games, for example, and Lego Batman and whatever, just adapt certain, different comic stuff, and then just, go from the adaptations to actually integrate their own sort of stories and stuff with those characters. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. Do you think Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens is the most pointless Lego game? Do you think there's another Lego game that's more pointless? Like, would you say, like, Lego Island 2 is more pointless? Let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, like, share, comment, turn notifications. You know, I'm trying to hit 2,000 subscribers. Any help is greatly appreciated. So you obviously make sure you go down and you hit the subscribe button, you hit the like button. And I've been EC and I'm signing out. Peace.